There's snow on the ground, it's winter, it's the UK, and I built up what I think is the ultimate winter riding bike. Gonna run through it a bit briefly here, but I'm gonna do a better, more descriptive video of it all in the future, but I thought I'd give you a bit of a lowdown on it now. So it's this. So this is an Argon 18 grey matter. It's the baby brother of the dark matter, and I have used it at various events like Dirty Reaver, raced it at gravel races, and been super impressed with it. But I always kind of knew that I wanted to set it up as a winter bike. Winter bikes are a real thing in the UK. Mudguards on, dynamo lights, luggage, normally aluminium frames as well. And that's why I thought the grey matter would be the perfect bike to be used for it. So the grey matter, this is Argon 18's baby brother to the dark matter, and it's in this really lovely, you can kind of see, greeny colour. Just changes beautifully in the light. This bike is built up with a mix of parts I already had, a mix of parts from sponsors, and some bits and bobs that I bought as well. So I can start at the rear end. The bike is built up with an 11-speed GRX Di2 group set. The frame is not necessarily designed for Di2, bear in mind all the cables, but you can buy a SRAM rival version, ETAP and mechanical one. But as I had this group set at home, I basically thought we might as well use it as opposed to sitting into a box. This is the group set that was on my dark matter, which we now changed to the 12-speed GRX Di2. So pretty big cassette on the back, and then on the front I'm running actually a 4830, not a 31 like it says. Shifts absolutely fine. Garmin Rally pedals, dual-sided power meter on there, works perfectly. And then the wheels are Enve AG25s, which is their like gravel wheel set. So it's a wide rim, looks really nice. The rear one is built up with a Chris King hub, which you can't tell because it's, maybe you can just about. And the front wheel is built up with a dynamo hub, so I can run dynamo lights basically. And as I already had a set of dynamo lights from exposure at home, which I bought when I did Silk Road mountain race in 2018, I thought, well, I might as well wire them up onto this and use them. So dynamo hub on the front, which is a Son dynamo, and then the cabling is basically running here, and then I've sort of like cable tied it in, as you can kind of see, and dynamo on the front. And then the rear light, I've run the cable underneath in the Tailfin bag, as you can kind of see here, and just mounted it like so. So basically is a front and rear light always on this bike. The dynamo lights are pretty good. They're solid lights, they don't flash, so that's maybe for like daytime visibility, is maybe you want a flashing light, but for me I'm more than happy with this as a setup. Tyres on this bike, I put some Schwalbe G1 all rounds on, so it's a kind of gravelly tyre, but it's quite fast on the road. It's kind of, as you can see, this sort of knobbly bobbly tread, rides really well. These are a 35mm width. It's actually on this rim, super nice, you can kind of see, super nice. 35mm on here because having the fenders on slightly limits the size of the tyre clearance you can fit on it. This bike can normally take a 45 on the front and a 40 on the rear, it's a bit tighter on the back, but I thought 35s is fine. I'm using it as a kind of a winter bike. Finishing kit is all from Enve. This is an old Enve seat post I basically found in a box. Enve stem, Enve gravel bars, and this is just BBB bar tape, which is, I just really like this, nice stuff, grippy. Shout out to Jimmy, who did all of the work on swapping this all over and setting it up for me at Velo Bavaria. Did an amazing job, wrapped the bars really nicely. But yeah, as you see, the shifters have got a few little scuffs on them, but that's fine. The mudguards or fenders, depending where you're from, are from Portland Design Works. They are expensive, I'm not going to deny that. I've used like plastic ones before from brands like SKS, but I wanted something that looked a bit fancier and was going to be really sturdy, and these are incredible. They are expensive, as I say, but they were probably the easiest mudguards I have ever fitted, and they look fantastic on the bike. It just really set it off very nicely. Bottle cages are wolf tooth bottle cages, Styrkr bottles of course, and then in the frame bag and the top tube bag I've basically just got snacks in here, and I'm using this for extra layers, so just leaving it on the bike. And then the rear pack is a Styrkr saddlebag, which works great for me. It is a fancy as hell winter bike, but my god, I do think there's something nice about riding a nice bike in the winter, and having mud guards on it means that everything's going to last a bit longer. You're not going to get absolutely caked in mud. It's a more enjoyable ride for you and a more enjoyable ride for your friends. So yeah, let me know what you think of it. What would you do on your winter bike setup? I'd be interested to hear, but I'm super happy with this. Everything about it that I would want in a winter bike, which is basically a tyre which could go anywhere, dynamo light, mud guards, and using mountain bike pedals because they're just easier. The bonus of having Di2 is great for me with my dodgy wrists, and I've really struggled with mechanical group sets and how they shift, but having a Di2 group set actually is great for when you're wearing big gloves, and for me it just works better. Yeah, thank you for watching. This is the Peak District. Please like, subscribe, comment, all of that kind of stuff. It really helps grow the channel and hopefully get these videos out to more people. So yeah, cheers.